You know, none of that defines you.
I know that. Doesn't make it easier.
Don't tell me you forgot why you started this.
Sometimes.
Hey, you just need to keep going. The world needs people like you out there making a difference. Even the smallest ones. Even if it's just as simple as being there just to make people laugh.
I just don't see doing random stuff and playing video games in front of a camera helping too many people out. Plus, there's just way too many people who all chase the same dream I did all at the same time. It just makes me end up feeling like a drop in the bucket.
I know what you think you do is meaningless in the grand scheme of things, but as long as it's meaningful to you, it'll be meaningful to people out there too. You just need to be you, unapologetically. Matter of fact, I know a guy who's done some similar stuff as you, and he altered the course of your life. He made it. Do you think he had it easy? Sometimes it's not about the quality of the videos, it's about the quality of the people in them. All this world needs is some positivity and authenticity. Numbers never mattered. They never did when you were dreaming of being where you are now. You know that.
I've just been doing this for a while now. What if I don't have the strength to continue?
You do have the strength. You were set on this path for a reason, and I know you aren't going to give up. All you have to do is show up, and the rest will play out. So, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna show up.
All you have to do is show up, and the rest will play out.
Hello everyone, my name is Aslan, and on this channel I call myself Zarafang. It is now the 2nd anniversary of this channel, starting today. On January 31st, I put up my first 8 videos on the channel. And just want to start with this saying that skit that I did in the beginning, it's not supposed to be a pity party for me at all. It's just an expression of the average YouTuber that is starting out and things aren't going the way that they thought that it would go. I'm doing really good. I know that I am pretty low in subscribers and views and all that. So the long story short is that that's not how I feel. I'm feeling really good with how my channel is going. I have full faith in how it's going to grow. And the point of this video is I have some things that I have written down here on my computer, and I hope you guys are fine with me kind of like reading it out loud while commentating over them. It's not like a script, it's just like bullet points. But I have some things that I have learned as a YouTuber, and even after 2 years, I feel like I've learned quite a bit. I have a feeling that these would help a lot of people who are down there in the low views, just like me. If you are like that, I just want you to know that you need to keep going, and all you got to do is show up for yourself. Just show up and the rest will take care of itself. That's what I'm doing. And I don't want anyone to take any of this as like advice, because I don't have the merit. I don't have the proof to show for it. This is just like my philosophy. This is like how I'm running my channel. Take everything with a grain of salt. And, you know, if you find something that probably doesn't sound like it would work for you, then that's all good, because we are all built different. I'm done over explaining. Probably not. I tend to over explain way too much. Thing that I've learned, number one, burnout skips no one, even to those who are like really eager to start. Like it's been a dream for the past almost decade, and you're like, yeah, I'm finally here. I'm gonna do it. I've been waiting for this for a long, long time. And then you do it, and then you're like, whoa.
I'm tired, man.
Burnout. It's a dream killer. Oh my God. I mean, do I have any tips on how to avoid burnout? Not the most, because it's something I'm still dealing with. All I gotta say is, if you're feeling it, maybe what you're working on, you just gotta step back. Just gotta step back for a little bit and go play a video game. Go watch a movie with the family. Go clean your room. Just go find something for a little bit. Maybe do it for a day or two, and then you come back. You're all recentered. You're ready to go. The hardest thing about this thing with YouTube is that it's a mindset game. You could be working harder than everyone else, but if you're not in the right mindset, you're not playing the right game. At least that's my experience. I've noticed that my mindset is in one place, and then in other times it's, well, in another. And I noticed that in certain mindsets where I'm not so hard on myself, that's when I get the most stuff done. So that's just the facts. Burnout skips no one. Bullet point number 2, and this, please listen to this one. Do not compare yourself to anyone. You are legally not allowed to compare yourself to anyone. I keep hitting the mic. Do you understand me? Even if they have less subscribers than you, do not compare yourself to them. Even if someone has 50 million subscribers, you're like, even though that's unrealistic, just like, don't compare. Do not compare. Whether they're below you in subscribers, above you, or around the same level. You are only allowed to compare yourself to yesterday's self. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Please, if you're going to get on here, you need to listen to that part. All right. So bullet point number 3, and this kind of ties into bullet point number 2. Do not try to be the YouTuber that inspired you. You can learn from them, but don't be them. You have to be you. You can only be you. I struggle with this sometimes, and I'm just gonna say I do have a really large influence. There is a YouTuber that I've been watching for a really long time, and he is extremely, really, really, really big right now. He wasn't when I found him, but I'm gonna keep him anonymous because, well, just to keep it relatable, and 2, I just don't want to be compared to him. But if you watch my videos, you might be able to guess. I don't know. Let's just say this my influence. I take a lot of notes from him. So sometimes I accidentally take too many notes. Sometimes I almost treat his videos like my video editing Bible. Don't do that. Please don't do that. That you will learn things, but if you do that, you will limit yourself. You'll be like, oh, well, if he or she didn't do this, I'm not going to do this. It's stuff like that. You limit yourself. Like if they don't play music, you're like, I'm not going to play music for my channel. They don't do that. I mean, like, no, you're here for you. You are here to be you. YouTube already has that person. You are you. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Well, that's something that's going on in my mind. I mean, most of these bullet points, don't get me wrong. This is advice that I would give myself. Okay. So like some of this may be bad advice. Okay. Some of this may be like, man, you're out of pocket, but I'm like, no, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me. at the same time. Like this is stuff that I struggle with and that I don't want other people to struggle with. So this is why I'm bringing this up. Long story short, don't be that other person. Be you. Bullet point number 4, show up for yourself and have a schedule. Even if it's the loosest schedule ever. When I started, I pretty much said, hey, I don't have a schedule. I don't know when I'm going to have a schedule. Y'all going to have to deal with it. Guess what my schedule was? There was a video that came out like every 2 weeks and sometimes a month. I'm going to break it down for you. That is not a good schedule. That is horrible. Do not do this. And I know it can be daunting to make a commitment to a schedule, but man, if you do monthly, you do monthly, like 1 video a month, that's a fine start. I would suggest somewhere in the ballpark of 1 to 2 weeks. Right now, I'm sticking to a schedule of 1 video a week. At least that's what I've been able to do if, holidays and being sick weren't involved, because that's what happened over Christmas. Please, just give yourself a schedule. And I know you're going to think that it's going to be hard, but if you listen to my other bullet points, you're going to understand why it's not actually that hard to just show up once a week or once every other week. I'd give you 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 days of grace. That's what I'd say is a good schedule. That's kind of the one I'm on right now. So somewhere in the ballpark of 7 to 10 days. It's not the best. I'd rather be uploading 3 times a week. Still working on that. Work life, family life. It's hard to balance, and you got to have your you time as well. I mean, as much as I'd like to say that doing YouTube videos is my me time, it's not. It's fun. It's fun, but it's not what I want to do when I want to chill. Anyways, on to the next one. No videos you make will be perfect, so you might as well upload anyway. Keeping this in mind will make you upload so much faster. That's why I put that bullet point right after that one, because you're like, how can I keep a schedule? I got so much to do. Just do something small. I mean, like, vlogs are interesting. It could be just a little tip that takes like 2 minutes to record. It could be anything. I've stumbled over the idea of obtaining perfection. That's actually why it's taken me 2 weeks to a month to upload a video, because I got so hungover on trying to make everything perfect and fishing for specific edits that would take me hours to find. I'd be in this part and be like, I know I can put something here, but nothing's jumping out at me. And then I'd go on YouTube looking for a sound effect or a clip. And then I'd be scrolling for what feels like hours looking for the thing. And I just wasted all my time. It's hard, especially if you have ADHD. I'm not diagnosed, but I am like 99% sure that I have it. But regardless, there's ways around it. There's ways to figure things out regardless of that type of situation. But just like upload something, anything, as long as it makes you happy. That's all I gotta say. That will help your consistency for sure. And to add on top of this, you may not be proud of that video, but it might mean something to someone out there. Let's say you make it. You make it like to 10,000, 100,000, even 1 million subscribers. And people will hold nostalgic value onto your older videos. I know I've done that with my YouTube influence. I often rewatch a lot of his videos so many times. And so does my little brother. Just put something out there. That's all I gotta say. My next bullet point, I mean, it says consistency is key. Everyone says it for a reason. I already talked about consistency. I already talked about it, so I don't even know why I made it a bullet point at this point. However, I do have a little footnote saying recording yourself regularly will progressively start to feel natural when you're in front of the camera. Because I've noticed when I started out, I mean, I was a bit camera shy. Just a little bit, because like, you know, it was something I wasn't used to doing. Just like doing that bi-weekly or up to a month type of schedule. I was not getting the camera practice that I wish I was doing. But, you know, now that I'm on a consistent schedule, I always got to put out something roughly a week in between. I'm constantly recording something. I mean, sometimes I record in bulk and then I edit in bulk. That's another thing. You got to figure out if you can do that. Sometimes that works for people, sometimes not. I don't like editing in bulk. Recording in bulk is fine. Editing in bulk, that can be rough. Especially if you're like, in my instance, I like to play games on my channel, and a lot of the games I like get into, and I'm like, oh man, I just want to play a little bit more. So I record more, and like one more session. Then I record more, and then I'm like, oh frick. I gotta trim and edit all 3 of these now. Yeah, that's daunting a little bit. So like one at a time, I'd recommend just record, edit, post, and then you record again. That's the flow I would recommend if I was starting out again. I'm still a rookie. I'm still starting out, so to speak. You're not really in the thick of YouTube unless you're in here for like 10 years. So I'll see you in 2032. That'll be my 10-year mark. Everyone says consistency for a reason. I mean, it's kind of redundant. I already said all this. Give yourself room for grace. Everyone starts at the bottom. And I mean, not gonna lie, I kind of wish I didn't start out like this. Just a little bit. And it's a funny thing, because like why would you want to not start out like this? Because if you want some context, I'm in my basement right now with my family. I'm in my family's basement, and I paid my dad to construct this room. So I mean, as you saw in the skit, I mean, you see my dad's workshop right around the corner. That's a nice breeze. Yeah, he's got the 3D printers running. Not the most amazing start, but I'm going to tell you, it's much better than a whole lot of other people, like how they start. And the reason why I wish I didn't start out like this, and the reason why I did start out like this, is because I never owned a computer until I wanted to start getting into this YouTube thing. So this computer is only 2 years old, and it's my first one. I wanted to start out flashy. I wanted to start out with all the gadgets, all the gear, all the stuff. That stuff does not matter.
What mic do you use? It sounds great.
I don't know. I've never had problems.
The reason retrospectively I wanted to start, you know, a little less than this, because I didn't give myself a chance to like upgrade and like grow into this box on camera. That would have been so cool. Be like, just like imagine I have a rinky-dink mic and a crappy camera. I mean, granted, my camera's not the most amazing, but it's fine. It does good. And like, I'm in my room, and like, I don't know, you hear my brother screaming in the background or something, like, I don't know, just like something a little ruggedy. And then like a year later, or maybe a couple years later, I get into this thing, my own studio, and it's just like, it feels like such a confidence boost. It feels like such a glow up. It's weird. I might be the only one who feels like this. I'm not gonna lie, but that's just me. The takeaway is, start where you are now, because you're gonna want that glow up later. Okay, I'm just saying, start now, glow up later. Heck, there's still room for me to glow up. There is. I just don't know what that looks like right now. It gets real warm in here, so I could definitely use an upgrade. I have a fan, but it just blows the already warm air in here. I'm getting sidetracked. Everyone starts at the bottom. Just start. Give yourself some time to plan first. Don't just like start immediately, and like, you know, just plan first and then start. Like give yourself a day or two to like think about it. Next bullet point: views and likes do not reflect actual growth. I'm gonna get to that in a sec. You decide if you're growing or not. Compare how much fun you had and how much you learned making a video, rather than comparing videos based on likes and views. I believe in this wholeheartedly, because if you look at what my type of videos were back when I started, Back when I was like shy and quiet and my mic audio wasn't very great. It was the same mic. I just didn't have good settings. You know, I feel like I've had a 2-year glow up personally, in my opinion. And I can only go up from here. I'm going to be honest. I see great things in myself, and it's okay to see that in yourself. It's not out of ego. It's just I know it in my nuggets. I feel it in my nuggets that I have a place on this platform. In what form? We will see. But I know it's somewhere. And you have to know that too. You have to get on here knowing that you can do it. And I don't care how cheesy, cliche any of this sounds. The truth's the truth. And everything's cliche for a reason, because everyone says it, because it's probably true. It just goes back to you comparing yourself to your yesterday's self. That's all it really is. Next bullet point. Don't care about what people think about your videos. As long as you're having a good time, that's all that matters. The sad truth is, even people you know may not watch your stuff, and that's okay. I mean, I have some of those. I think the only people I know that watch my stuff regularly, the only person I know watches most of my stuff is my mom. Hi, Mom. How you doing? My friends drop in occasionally. I don't know if they watch all my stuff. You know, it's just like, don't expect everyone to watch your stuff, including friends and family, and be okay with that. You know, you get a sense of privacy almost, just a little bit. But you know, when you get big, I'm sure they'll come, you know, right back and watch all your stuff. That's generally how it goes. You know, you generally get ignored by people until you start getting known. Not that I'd know. I mean, have you seen that subscriber number? I mean, like, you can fix that. I'm kidding. Next point. Pretend you already have an audience, even if hardly anyone is watching. Own your channel. This is your kingdom. I know that, you know, YouTube is like it owns everything on the platform, you know, but you know what? They can own everything on their website. They don't own my videos. They just own my ability to access my channel. I'll forever have my videos on my computer as long as nothing bad happens to it. When you start, your room, your space, your videos, your shindig, it's your stuff. Just own it. Own that stuff. You have an audience. I know you say you don't, but you know, you do. And you will. You will and you do. Huh? I'm not making a good point right now. What I'm trying to say is, pretending you have an audience, it just makes things feel more natural. You feel like you're free. You feel like you got, if you pretend you have a community, you feel more personable. You know, I just like that. That's what I'm doing right now. This video is going to hardly get seen when I put it out, but I'm still being personable. I'm still acting like there is a person right in front of me. But there is, because you're watching. But in real time, you know. Now, over explainy McGee. Trying very hard. This is already a half-hour recording. We'll see how this goes. Allow yourself to make lower effort videos sometimes. You can't make cinema every time. It pretty much goes with the same bullet point where I said no videos will be perfect. I'm just like, give yourself a break. Just give yourself a break. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm working on this game series called Cryptmaster. Not gonna lie, it's a little hard to edit in my style. And there's a lot of dialogue. In my last video that I posted, like right now, I don't know what video came before this. I don't know if there was a video that came before this. Yeah, I posted a Cryptmaster video. Wasn't the most proud of it, but it continued the story. And I had some funny dialogue in there somewhere. It's just like, give yourself a break. And not everything is about editing. Like I said in the skit, it's not always about the quality of the video, but I care about the quality of the person in the video. That's why I watched the person who influenced me the most. He hardly did many edits in his early videos. He edits like crazy now. He's very masterful at it. And see, that's the thing. You grow with time. You grow with time. Don't worry about the edits so much. Work on you and your relationship with the camera. YouTube 101 here. Okay, I hope this is coming across. It is getting warm in here. Next bullet point. Even if something makes you popular, like a specific video, let's say for example, keep in mind what you actually want to make. Pandering to the algorithm only gets you so far and won't make you happy in the long run. Mic drop. This is probably the most controversial one, because if anyone wants success, yes, you're going to have to pander to the algorithm to some degree or not. You know, I haven't figured it out yet. I've experienced some decent growth when a new game comes out. And if no one knows, if you're brand new to my channel, I'm mostly a gaming channel, but I'm mostly a whatever channel at the same time. Gaming is the bigger part, and you know, it's fine. But when a new game comes out and I post a video like 1 week, 2 weeks after it comes out, yeah, it gets good traction. It does. It gets noticed. But when I'm playing an indie game that no one knows, not so much. And I mean, I'm comparing things to like 20 to 30 views, whereas like me pandering to the algorithm would get like 100, maybe 200 views. And it's fine if you want to pander to the algorithm. My advice would be to pander within reason. Pander to the algorithm if it suits you. Because like, if suddenly, you know, a certain YouTube genre pops off and you're like, I'm going to drop everything I've been doing and going to do this thing. And then that thing loses relevance. That genre loses relevance. And then you're like stuck doing this thing that nobody's watching anymore. And you're not happy at the same time. So I'd say if it's within your ballpark, if it's within your channel's theme, go for it. Try it out. See how it goes. But if it's not fulfilling you, don't keep doing it. You made the stuff, you can post it, but don't be stuck there. And I need to tell myself that too, because sometimes when as a gaming YouTuber, I tend to pick a game and like stick to it like glue until I'm finished, because that's how I feel. I don't like leaving games unfinished. And that's why I'm trying to give myself grace with that one game series that I'm working on right now, because like ain't nobody got time to make cinema out of every episode, because you can't. Sometimes you have to deal with what you recorded. And that's what I've been sticking with for the past few months. Sticking with what you recorded. Whatever comes out, comes out. If you get hung up on it being perfect, it's not going to come out. At least not very fast. But we've already talked about that. I think I'm getting off track. The algorithm is a thing. I personally don't want to pander to it. My recommendation is just record anything that makes you happy. And if that happens to be part of the algorithm, yeah, hit the lottery. Go for it. Honestly, just go. Next one. Don't take your channel so seriously all the time. It's supposed to be fun. If you're a solo YouTuber, I'm going to say, because if you're a brand YouTube channel, if you're like in a group with a whole bunch of people, and it's like, I don't like that corporate feel that, you know, some channels do. That's just me. No shade towards anyone. We don't do shade here. No shade on this channel whatsoever. Sometimes, you know, people feel robotic, and the edits feel, I mean, they're professional, but they're like too professional. Like there's no personality. It's just everything is nice and clean, but doesn't feel alive, you know? So like that's how I feel about like solo YouTuber channels and YouTube brand channels, but that's a whole other thing. I'm mostly talking about the solo YouTubers. No, like I said, nothing against, you know, the really fancy YouTubers. I'm not that guy. And it's fine. I'm fine with not being that guy. Treat your channel as an outlet for yourself rather than a brand. I already talked about that. Funny, I didn't even look at that bullet point. I already talked about it. Moving on. There is an audience for everything. Some quick examples. ASMR and mukbangs. Need I say more? Again, no shade. Those are just the genres that bother me the most. I can't watch them. I don't get it. I don't like them. Why would I watch someone eat when I'm hungry? That's torture. I'm sorry. Anyways, in ASMR videos, it depends. It really depends. If it's like someone, you know, talking into the mic, and like they just type in, you know, ASMR video, and like this is the type of stuff that you know. I don't know. No. Unless you have a really nice podcast voice, no, not for me. But that aside, there is an audience for everything, including those genres. And you can totally go do those things that bug me. I won't watch you, but you can totally do them. Totally do them. Anyways, on to a more serious one. You will receive hate. Guaranteed. And it will never leave. This part is the toughest seller for being a YouTuber. Absolutely the toughest one. But it's worth it. It's worth working through it. In life, there's going to be people who don't like you just for existing. I made a video a little bit ago talking about people pleasing. If you dim your light, if you dim what makes you you and you so special for the sake of other people's feelings or the sake of making other people happy, you're going to be living in a cave for the rest of your life, and you can't do that. There's this rule of thirds thing that I'm going to be talking about. So, and this will apply in life, this will apply on YouTube, this will apply in the art world, this will apply everywhere. There is the rule of thirds applies to everything. There are going to be people who like you. There are going to be people who are indifferent, like in the middle. They're like, yeah, sure, or And then there are going to be people, they're not going to like you. It's not even a matter of you did anything wrong. It just is. And you have to know that going into YouTube. And those three subsections can be divided even further. Like in the like you, there will be people who like really like you, and then like they're fans, and then there's like loyal people. And then we're not going to get down to the bottom people. I'm sure you can imagine how those three, how that can be subdivided, but a little too negative for my taste. But just know that it will be there. It'll happen. And you know what? If negativity shows up on your channel, that's something that actually helps boost your visibility on the platform. Any form of interaction with your video, likes, comments, subscribes, any form of interaction boosts your video to go further into the algorithm. So honestly, even though they're being negative, they're helping you in the long run. Now, personally, I take down negative comments, but they're there to be there, and you ignore them and you move on. But it's the positive comments that it'll feel worth it for those, and they will come. And the chances are you will start with the negativity first, unfortunately. I haven't had too much experience with negative comments, but they have happened. But anyway, to top it all off, and this is the theme of my channel. This is how I'm running my life, at least to the fullest of my ability. At least I'm trying really hard. Maybe not every single version of me, not every single section of me can pop up in videos or in front of my friends or in front of my family. I feel like I'm mostly the same person around everyone. There's some parts that I hide towards certain people. There's some people, and there's some versions of me that I bring out. It really depends. Some of that is the people pleaser in me. The goal is authenticity. If you are an authentic person, no edits needed. There has been some channels that I've been following lately. They almost edit nothing, but they are so authentic to the point where I don't care how they edit their videos. They're really authentic, and I'm there for them. And that's the goal. That is the goal for me. I don't want anyone to come to my channel because of a game that I'm playing. That'll be the introduction, I hope, but I hope it won't be for like the game that I'm playing. I hope it won't be for my edits. My dream is that people will come because I made a video, because I showed up, because I'm here for you. I'm your virtual friend. You know that feeling when you haven't seen a really good friend of yours in a long time? That's the type of person I want to be on this channel. If you excuse me, I'm gonna try and not cry because hardly any of this is scripted, and I didn't mean to be this emotional. But there you have it. I've poured pretty much all of my philosophies and beliefs into this video, and what I think a true successful channel can be. Consistency, belief in yourself, authenticity. Those are like the three main ones. Ignoring the negativity, having fun, no comparisons other than with your past self. Are you just 1% better than you were yesterday? That's a win. Well, I got all my points across, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of how I delivered it. I felt a genuine connection with you, and I thank you very much for watching. And I hope if you're thinking about starting, I hope you rule the world in a good way. I wish nothing but the best for you, and I hope you knock them dead. That'll be all for my TED Talk. Hope you have a good night. Best of luck.